This lesson is called Choosing a Profitable Freelance Skill, and it will show you what skills are in demand and how you can choose one and learn one that's the best fit for you. The reason this lesson is important is because you don't want to feel like this. You don't want to be frustrated, and of course there's going to be challenges in your freelancing journey. In anything you do, you're going to have challenges and setbacks, but you don't have to set yourself up for failure. You can get ahead of that when you focus on the right skills. So if you understand the right profitable skills to focus on, you can begin your business and start your freelancing journey on the right foot, as opposed to spending months, if not years, doing things that don't work and learning the hard way like I had to do. So if you provide a low-income skill, you're going to be frustrated. You're going to feel like this because you're going to work on jobs that don't provide any value either to the client or to yourself. They don't have the ability to scale because they're just these one-time projects. There's all this high competition because you're competing with a race to the bottom when you're just focusing on the price. As opposed to targeting high-ticket clients, like I teach in this academy. When you target these business owners who are willing to pay top dollar for trustworthy freelancers, that's when you're able to provide them value in return for that steady income. And this is a really important stat right here because it breaks down how much freelancers make. And 31% of freelancers earn $75,000 a year or more. In order to be in this 31%, you need to pick one of the in-demand skills I mentioned. The other 69% are doing low-income skills that anyone can do with little to no effort. As you realize how important it is, I highly suggest that you keep an open mind. Don't limit yourself. Don't put yourself in a box. You can learn new skills. You can bundle different skills together, as I will teach you later on. Keep an open mind. Always be willing to learn new skills and focus on the ones that are in demand so you can be in that 31% and you can push yourself into that six-figure range, which is where all profitable freelancers want to be. So you might be asking yourself, how do I pick a skill that's good for me? You might have a couple in mind, but the first thing I always suggest doing is just looking at what interests you. To pick the best skill for yourself, you want to be doing something that you have some sort of an interest in. Ask yourself, what are you the most drawn to? What platforms do you spend the most time on? Ask yourself what you already have some knowledge in. And then you can start to leverage that. Leverage by learning that skill in more depth. You don't have to start with something you don't know anything about. So let's say, for example, you're always on Facebook. Facebook ads might be a great next step for you because you already know how to do a good Facebook post and what gets the most engagement. Next, ask yourself, what are you the best at? You might have to ask a friend or family member what their opinion is on this because you might not realize it yourself. For example, you might be a really good communicator, and whenever people text with you or talk with you over the phone, you're super easy to talk to. Or let's say, for example, whenever you share something on social media, people are very, very engaged with it, and they might say that they love seeing your post pop up on their newsfeed. So you can start to look at that in a little bit more detail, and then you can pick a skill that's associated with that. And not only do you want to just pick a skill, you want to pick the most in-demand skill. So as you start to ask yourself these questions, that is when you want to narrow down what the most in-demand skill is. Because of course, we all spend time on multiple platforms. We have multiple interests and we're good at multiple things. Once you have your list, that's when you need to circle the top 1 or 2 skills that are the most in demand, that can provide the most value, create the most income for you, so you can create the most profitable freelance business as you go out into the marketplace. Now, let's look at the top skills that I recommend and that I will be breaking down in demonstrations. The first is copywriting. And copywriting is when you use words to sell things. Copywriting is applicable to many different mediums. And what I mean by that is copywriting can be used when you're doing advertisements, social media posts, email marketing, even video scripts. This is just fundamentally a solid skill that will always be a valuable skill because people will need to sell through words. There are a lot of freelance copywriters that are earning over 6 figures a year. So I will walk you through a copywriting demo and the tools that I suggest using to be the best copywriter possible. Next, we will move into graphic design. Here, I am not going to show you all of the paid, highly expensive technical graphic design services, but what I will do is I'll break down how you can easily set up attractive graphic designs using a drag and drop editor. Those can be used in your social media posts, in website development, and even just in graphic design projects in general. Then we will go over social media. Here is where I will focus on the organic side of social media, where you can help business owners set up posts, schedule them, create engagement, and ultimately build a following that buys. Then we will move into email marketing. Email marketing is very powerful because you get to tap into the business you're working with's database they already have. A lot of times these are people that already purchased from the business, so they're a lot more likely to purchase again than if you were just to target a cold audience. This means that if you use the right tools, you combine that with great copywriting, this can turn into a very profitable freelance income for you. There's also an advanced side of email marketing where you set up email automations. That's really the next level of email marketing and what will bring you even more revenue. Next, website design. Here, I'm going to show you once again not how to do any coding or technical aspects of the website development, but I will show you my favorite drag and drop editor where you can literally build a website in 10 minutes. You can also use the skills I show you in the graphic design section to make your websites look even better. Lastly, I'll show you where to access free icons to make your websites stand out from the pack. Then I will move into my expertise, which is Google Ads. Everything I'm going to show you here will be a top-level view, but I will give you a demonstration so you understand, number one, what it looks like, how you can deliver it, and number two, what tools to use to be as successful as possible. And lastly, we will be going over SEO. SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization, and this can be looked at as the opposite of what online ads is. So this is how you can help business owners' websites show higher up on Google so they can make more money. And now it's time to get into the profitable skill